Morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me for our math lesson today. Yesterday, we were talking about how fractions is not just taking one whole object and dividing it into equal parts, though that definitely is one way to think about fractions. Another way you can think about fractions, though, is thinking about a group of objects and how each object can be part of a fraction. So, for example, we've got here a circle divided in half. All right, so that's one way to think about it, like if you were splitting a pizza between two people, just cut it down the middle and give each one half. Must be awfully hungry. But we can also think of it like this. Let's just pretend these magnets are a couple of candies, and you and a friend are going to share them, so you get half. You get one, your friend gets another, so you've each gotten one half of the candies. All right, even though you could also just say you get one, I get one, we can also think of it as a half. Now let's say you're super duper extra lucky and you don't just have two candies to share with your friend, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, looks like somebody found some extra change in the couch cushions. You ever looked there? Never know what you might find. Anyway, so let's say you want to share with your friend, and you'll notice I use the colors differently so that you can see the groups really easily. Some of you can already tell, well, you just give yourself 3 and your friend 3, and that's absolutely right. Now, another way to think about this, though, is that you are still giving half to you and half to your friend. Here, you get one, I get one. You get one, I get another. There's one more for me and one more for you, and look at that. So even though the groups are bigger, they are still equal in size. They each have 3 in them, and we have split it evenly into 2 groups. So you can also think of these groups as being 1/2, okay? See, when you think about it in terms of something you use in your real life, it makes a little more sense, doesn't it? All right, well, let's use the same idea here. Again, I've used colors, but the colors don't really matter. What matters is that each group is equal. So yesterday we were talking about quarters and how you could divide a group of 4 into quarters, but we're going to increase the number of objects in the groups today, all right? So let's say then we've got a whole bunch of candies. Man, it must be Christmas or something. And we have 4 children who are going to share these candies evenly, otherwise there will be fights, so you must share them equally. That's the way it works. So it's not enough just to give one to each child. We still have all these other ones left. So let's keep sharing them equally, each child getting the same number of candies as each other child who is there for, let's say, Christmas, because I like the idea of that. Okay, so as you can see now, I've put them each into the groups and I've put them near the quarters so that you can see that each of these is an equal group. Each one has 2 large circles and 3 small circles. See that? 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. So not only does each child get 5 candies, that's true, but another way to think about that is each child has gotten a quarter of the candies. They've divided it equally into 4 groups. So even though the groups are bigger than when I showed you yesterday that there was 1 object in each group, it is still 1/4. Now, it doesn't matter how big the groups are. If I gave you 1,000 candies, whoa, talk about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory there. But if I gave you 1,000 candies and you divided it evenly into 4 groups, lucky friends, but let's say I did that, it doesn't matter that the groups are humongous. You are each still getting a quarter. So that's the interesting thing about groups and fractions. How much in each group isn't important. How many groups you've made and that they're all equal is what matters. All right? So I hope I've explained a little bit more about how groups of objects can be looked at as fractions. Tune in tomorrow to learn more about it. Have a great day.